So there's a number of companies here and platforms which Ian has already pointed to, such as Mediclip.com. The lower, obviously these types of opportunities basically offer a lower barrier to entry. So you can produce PC casual games, you can produce browser and flash games, you can produce mobile games far cheaper than you can produce AAA console titles. So the barrier to entry is far easier, is far reduced. Other aspects of the kind of online space is the adoption of alternative business models. Ian's already mentioned things like in-game advertising, the use of microtransactions, and obviously like premium subscriptions and subscription services. And in terms of new content models, it allows for new sort of production strategies in terms of creating content. So you can produce content over a longer period of time in the form of sort of expansion packs or episodic content. Developers that create content and produce a service and go directly to the consumer can obviously build up a direct relationship with the consumer. So there's advantages there of moving up the value chain, and it's not just owned by the retailer. It's quite simplistic to say, yeah, don't go for AAA, you can go for these other sectors, and it's really easy to make a business and make money in these new sectors. But obviously they are growing fast, but there's also quite a few challenges as well, which I'm sure we'll get into on the panel discussion later on. So this slide takes a look at what is actually driving the online opportunity. And obviously broadband penetration of households is key to that. We could see that the UK market in 2007 has about 55% penetration of broadband, and that's likely to increase to 79% by 2012. That's it's a growing opportunity still. So there's still an underlying growth rate in terms of addressable market. The other factor that's driving the adoption of online business models is the availability of enabled consoles and the actual use of those consoles online. At the end of 2008, we expect there to have been 42 million consoles connected to the internet. And that's going to grow quite substantially over the next few years. So they offer another distribution platform for sort of online distribution, online services, and that's driving the kind of shift away from the retail model into these new models as well. So just quickly, what is the impact on the value chain with the shift to those kind of business models? Obviously the main actors are still sort of floating about, but we have a new sort of segment, service provision, the service provider, and developers can actually move up the value chain and go directly to the consumer, so they become service providers themselves. The same with publishers. Publishers are looking to become more service orientated, not product orientated, and that involves taking on new skills and developing businesses to fit into that strategy. From a retail perspective, obviously they're being squeezed out of the market in terms of supplying content to the end user. They're going to be needed for the distribution of hardware, but generally in terms of, if there's less packaged retail content being sold, then obviously they're being squeezed out of the value chain.